Welcome to Wisdom of the World. Today I'm going to go deep, deep, deep in fairy tale land. I want to tell you a story about a witch called Baba Yaga, which comes back in every fairy tale in Russia. And somehow, I just want you to hear this story. So today's story is called Baba Yaga. It is about doing good, and it comes from Russia. And it goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a farmer and his wife who lived happily with two children, two twins they had. But one day, the wife died. And the farmer mourned for a long, long time, for 1 year, 2 years, or maybe even more. But then he thought, there is no order in a house without a woman. So maybe I should try to get remarried. So he did, and he had children with his second wife. And as often goes, the stepmother was jealous of the twins, treated them badly, didn't feed them properly, and just told them to go away as often as she could. You know what happens when a really bad thought comes into your mind? That thought grows and grows like a poisonous plant until it pushes away all good thoughts. So this stepmother also, at some point, she just wanted those two children to go away. And so she told them one day, children, please, I'd like you to go to my grandmother. She lives in a real special house. The house stands on the foot of a chicken. And I want you to do everything that grandmother says, and then she will give you sweets. So the children set out, but the girl was really smart, and she didn't go to the forest. She went to her real grandmother and told her the story, and the real grandmother says, "Oh, my poor children, that is terrible, but I cannot change what you need to do. But you're not going to go to a very kind, sweet grandmother. No, you're going to a wicked witch called Baba Yaga." Now, let me give you some advice. Always be good and kind to everybody. Never talk bad words to anybody. Help everybody, even the weakest. And always trust that help will also come to you when you need it. And she gave them milk, and she gave them big slices of ham and cookies. Cookies are everywhere. Kids loved it, and they went on their way. They went to the forest, and they saw a house on the feet of a chicken, and they told the house, house, turn around, turn your back to the forest and the front to us. So they could go in the house. And there they saw the witch laying with her head almost at the threshold where you went in, and one other leg way up in one corner, and the other leg in the other corner, and her head almost touching the ceiling. And they said, "Oh," very politely, "Oh, grandmother, our stepmother told us that we should go to you and we should serve you." "Well," said Baba Yaga, "I usually don't keep children around, but if you do everything that I say, I will give you a reward. If not, I will eat you up." So the kids were already afraid. And immediately the witch told the girl to weave a lot of cloth. And she told the boy to fill a big tub with a sieve. And so the girl started her weaving and cried. It was very hard for her. She'd never done something like that. She still managed. And she said, all of a sudden there were lots of mice coming up all around her. And the mice said, just if you feed us some crumbs of cookies, then we will help you. And so the girl, of course, happily did so. And the mice said, go and see the big cat and feed him some ham and he will definitely help you. And so the girl immediately set out to find the big black cat. And while she was doing so, she saw her brother fully in total despair because he had already tried to fill that big tub with, with sieves, with a sieve. And then there were birds that flew over, and the bird says, please feed us some crumbs and we will also help you. And so again, they fed the birds. And the birds said to them, water and plaster for the sieve. And the kids got the hint and they put plaster into the sieve. And in no time they had filled the big tub full with water. Then they ran to the cat and they gave the cat ham and they patted the cat nicely. They were really sweet and kind to the cat, and they said, oh cat, can you help us please to leave this horrible place? And the cat said, well, here is a towel and here is a comb. And if the witch comes after you, first put the towel down and then a big river will come. And if that doesn't stop her, then put the comb down and a big forest will appear. And it will be hard for her to come any further. You will be safe. And then the witch came home. Baba Yaga came home. And she looked and she said, okay, I see you managed to do all the work I asked you to do today, but tomorrow the work will be harder. And so the kids spent another night there in the hay, not prepared by a loving hand. No, they were there cold and afraid. The next morning, the witch said to the girl, now I want you to weave all this linen. And you, to the boys, she says, I want you to go to the forest and get a lot of firewood. And then she left. And as soon as she had left, the kids ran away. And immediately the dogs came after them to stop them, but they fed the dogs some cookie crumbs that were left. And then the gate wouldn't open, but the girl oiled the gate hinges, and so the gate swung open. And then there was the birch tree who almost lashed out their eyes, but the girl was very kind and put a beautiful ribbon to tie up the birch tree. And then they ran and they ran and they ran and through the forest until they came in an open field. And then the witch, Baba Yaga, came home and he said, where are the children? And she immediately started to beat the cat and said, why have you not stopped the children and scratched them? And he said, after many years of working, I have never received anything, not any bite from you. And these children gave me a nice piece of ham, so of course I helped them. And she also yelled at the dog and at the gate and at the birch tree, and they all told her how much they had helped, the children had helped them. So Baba Yaga knew that she had nothing to expect from them, so she jumped on her broom and she chased after the children herself. And they were running and running, and they could hear her coming, and first they threw a towel behind them, and immediately sprang up a huge big river. And the witch could not pass it, and she kept hopping along the side, but then finally she found an undeep place where she could pass the river. And again they felt her chasing after them. So they threw down the comb behind him, and immediately sprang up a really huge, big, thick forest with big intertwined roots, and the twigs that all met each other, even the tops of the tree. It was a thick, dark forest, and the witch, no matter how hard she tried, she could not get through that forest. And eventually she returned, yelling and yelling and yelling. And the children ran home towards their father and told their father everything that had happened, and said to him, "Father, why do you love us less than you love our other brothers and sisters?" And that really touched the father, and he got angry. He kicked out the wicked stepmother and her children. And from then on, he always really took good care of the happiness of the children. And he was sweet and kind to them. Now, the message of that story is simple, like in all fairy tales. Do good, and good things will happen to you. Thank you.